Hey man, what's the goddamn deal, man? Welcome back to another episode of Screwston Media TV, man. We here live, man, with Dillcor. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing alright. How about you?
Man, alright. Just living, man. Working, taking care of bills, those kind of things, man.
Sure.
But how you holding up with the coronavirus, man? How's the family doing?
Family is doing well. We haven't gotten it yet, and I hope we don't, but we've had a few scares with close contact, but family's holding up alright, and just making a shit ton of music, honestly.
Right. Yeah. You definitely working, man. So I definitely want to, before the interview just officially start, I definitely want to salute to you for that, man, for sure, man. But let's start from the beginning. Let's let everybody know where you're from.
I am from here, Houston, Texas. Grew up in River Oaks and now live near the Galleria. And I had no music background when I first started.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Lamar High School, and I basically got into music from one little moment. I was going to lunch with a few of my friends, and my friend brought this rapper I work with now, D Savage, along. And we went to lunch, and I started playing one of my beats. This is when I first started making beats, so if I played it now, it's trash. But I started playing one of my beats, and he was like, I dig this, like, who made this? And I was like, me. He's like, we should go to the studio one time. And then this other guy in my Spanish class is already a rapper, and he hooked us up with studio time at Studio 713 in downtown.
Right.
And then we went there and we recorded a song, and then I released that song that night. And before 24 hours of releasing it, we had over 600 hits, and I had just started my SoundCloud profile, so it was pretty surprising. And kind of my moment of clarity was I was in my last period class, and this kid I had never known, never seen, was sitting across the table from me, and I glanced at his phone, and he's playing my song, and I was like, oh shit, like, it's kind of getting around. And then the teacher called roll, and he was like, is this you? And I was like, yeah. He's like, shit's fire, like, keep it up. I was like, okay, maybe I can do something in this, like, maybe something can happen. And then just started producing, like, a lot of hip-hop beats, just kind of learning, like, more than producing. And then once we had, 5 songs, we did our first performance at Super Happy Funland. Definitely brought the biggest crowd. And then we did a couple other shows after that there, and then we progressed to Warehouse Live. And at a certain point, I started to go down a path where I was transitioning from rap to EDM, and so then I started getting kind of heavy into EDM. And I'll tell you, there's a real difference between rap and EDM in this way. I can make a good rap beat right here in 2 to 3 hours, have it finished completely, but a fucking EDM song will take 3 weeks at least, and because there's just so many more nitty gritty little elements to put in, and it's just a lot more work, because rap is just more simple, honestly, and
simple melodies, simple bass lines.
Exactly.
So would you say EDM is EDM more of, like, what I say, party music? Is that the music that when you hear a lot of those big, like, college spring break kind of parties?
Yeah. Okay, so that's when my EDM started kind of picking up. I think it was year after high school. So yeah, a year after I graduated high school in 2017, I got my first out of town show, and I brought D Savage along. We were performing at basically the Clay equivalent of, or Dallas's Clay Dallas's Clay equivalent. God damn.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah,
Dallas's big pool club in Uptown, and we opened for these guys called the Lost Boys, who are starting to really pick up now. They're from California.
Yeah, that's the producers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've made some really good remixes, some great originals, and so that was my first show, and I was still wearing this. Like, I wanted to hide my identity at first when I was an artist, so I bought a motorcycle helmet for $7 and then bought a Kylo Ren mask, the guy from Star Wars, for $7. So I spent $15 in total, and I would wear that just to hide my identity as an artist, and like painted it different colors for different shows, all types of stuff. But it eventually I was just like, I'm not that big right now, like I could be, but like there's no point in this. And also, like, at that first SMU show, it got so hot in that helmet. For the last 5 minutes of my set, I was blurry. I was about to pass out, like I was about to overheat. And then I did a show that I actually ran at Warehouse Live, and it was in the green room. And then later on, I did a release party here, and we got probably, I want to say, 50 people to show up in this little, like, kind of covered patio area in my backyard. I put just blue tarps around it, so it's kind of like a little rave area. Set up my DJ deck, and my dad and I built a stage from scratch. And so I stood on the stage, like had my table, and bought some lights for it, and like it was really successful. And kind of for my EDM stuff, we would do these things at every release party, where we would all get together, take a picture, and I was at the very top. But, you know, I was wearing the mask, so, you know, I was never really seen. And then when we did a release party for Paradise, my EP, that's the one with like the blue, black, and white. Basically, we got, I think it's still disputed to this day, but I think we got, because I cartoonized it. But I think there's 41 people in the picture. That's my count, but some people said 51, some people said 39. We don't know, but
we don't know. But hey, at least it was a bunch of people in the picture though, for sure, man. But not to cut you off, man. I know you was you was telling me some things, man. But what kind of made you wanna get into producing and making music? Was you always just a fan of music, or what? Like, what made you just say, you know what, I want to do this, and I want to do this for a career, eventually?
So
what made you do that?
I guess where I started, or how it started, is we had this assignment. I was taking this music media class at Lamar, and we had this assignment junior year, and it was to take the any song you like and put it into the like shitty fucking school laptop music making system or editing system, and remix a song as best you can. I spent probably and I don't try hard in school because I only try hard at stuff I really like.
Right.
Honestly.
Same here.
And so I spent probably 5 to 6 hours on an assignment that should have taken an hour. And I got an A on it, and I was just started messing around with that software a little more with like famous songs. Like I was like, this is kind of cool. And then my brother, he used to be music manager and like promoter and like put stuff together, put together concerts. And he started to see that I was seriously like working at this. And he was like, okay, you're not using this program anymore. I'm gonna introduce you to Ableton Live, and you're gonna learn how to make music through that. And I was like, okay, like I don't know much about it. I had no music background at all, nothing. Like I had piano lessons as a kid. I'd run out of the room, like, and then it took me an entire year. Think about that, one entire year, almost the amount of time that we've been in quarantine or COVID, and I just learned how to use the program. And once I did, one of my brother's buddies from college was starting to seriously make EDM, and that's kind of how I started getting more into that. And he wanted to get more into rap, so it was kind of complimentary. And so I never met the guy, but he was living in New York, and I happened to be there at the time, so I got to visit him 3 straight days, and it was honestly like one of the most helpful experiences I've had. And then he gave me his just collection of samples, and I had like no good EDM samples. I was using the basic ones of Ableton and not getting very far. And then he showed me chord progressions, chord structures, like where to put certain elements like snares, drums, kicks, you know, that. And then I started messing around with his samples, and that's when I really started making my EDM stuff. And then I guess 2 years ago now was really my big year for performances. I performed at SMU I think 5 times just in that spring semester.
So did you get booked to perform at SMU, or did you have a connect or whatever to be able to perform there?
So both actually. It actually varied depending on performance. So I did Kappa Bid Day like at the Kappa House, and that's like 400 girls surround you, and you're just at the only house on the boulevard that has a balcony, so that's where I set up.
Okay.
And that was a lot of fun. They pay well, I'll tell you.
I bet, yeah. I know them college parties pay crazy.
They do, and I can't wait to get back to that. But then I got a text from the chair in charge of like booking events or booking artists for like events for the frat, and he texted me that week, and he was like, hey, do you want to do this event? It's a Kappa SAE like merger event, and it was crazy. That may have been my favorite performance yet, because it was at a nightclub during the day. Like we went to a nightclub at noon, and like
yeah.
So basically we started pre-gaming in the morning, kind of like you do for, you know, college football games, something like that. And basically nightclub during the day, so it was super dark. And so I had started a new look. I transitioned from the fucking Kylo Ren helmet and the really just shitty hot generic stuff to something a little more unique. So I got these, and
yeah, those are nice, man.
they got different settings. They got Pikachu coming out of the Pokeball. Like you can also make your own. It's really unique. And then it was cool. I got these laser gloves. I won't shine into the camera because it'll blind you. But basically, these things will shine over a mile if the cap's taken off, and they shine 30 different lights per finger. So it's pretty cool. Those basically you could just see the beams of light coming from each finger, like 30 beams, 30 lasers from each finger. It was insane. I put a video of it up on YouTube. But then I got booked for another event. Went fine. I mean, it was normal. And then this was the big surprise. Like, it started with some kid who's really big fan of like the set I did at that party. Like, a lot of people were apparently, so I was happy to hear that. And he was like, dude, this guy needs to be the opener at Jungle. And Jungle is the biggest party at SMU the entire year. It's at the very end of the school year. And he was just like, this guy should open for Jungle. And like, more people kept saying it. And then I finally got the call, and I was opening for Win and Woo, Cash Cash, really big name EDM artists, and I was on like a really legit big like festival stage type deal. It was a really cool experience, and then like it was great that I was opening, honestly, because after that I could just enjoy the whole party and have a good time, relax, and it was great. And then the final event I did that year was my brother's graduation party, which was like 600 people. It was crazy.
Right. Okay, because you definitely got a deep, history with producing hip hop and EDM, man. But let me ask you one more question, before I get out of here, man. What's some of the things that we can expect from you, man, for the rest of 2020 going into 2021? What can we expect from you? New beats, man, new collabs, new business ventures. Like, what do you have in store coming?
I'll tell you, I'm really excited to announce this. I have the coolest shit I've been doing, in my opinion, coming. I have merchandising, flags, shoes, sandals or slides, socks, jackets, hats coming soon. My plan right now is to release 3 singles. Like, for my next releases, I'll release 3 singles. We already have a rap one ready, and I'm finishing a couple kind of mix of EDM and rap. I'll actually show you if you want.
Yeah.
So I took one of D Savage's vocals and I kind of turned it into deep house type vibe, but this song goes hard. I'm really excited to finish this one.
Bitch, I'm the needle, my dick in the. Bitch, I'm the needle, my dick in the. Bitch, I'm the needle, my dick in the. Bitch, I'm the needle, my 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 bitch, I'm the needle, bitch, I'm the needle, my dick in the jaw. Dick in the. Dick in the. Dick in the. Dick in the.
And then second drop, I do something like that.
Bitch, on the knees with my dick in the jaw.
So yeah, I won't show you the entire song because that'll give it away. But I got other stuff like that coming out, and then kind of my plan is to basically do merchandising expansion, upgrade this studio setup a little bit. I actually have a studio mix board I'm trying to get installed. Got a lot of stuff in the works. I'm also trying to set up this nationwide virtual music festival. So like basically a bunch of guys doing DJ sets. And then South by Southwest is coming up. I was going to do it when I first started DJing, but everything was set up, but I had to be 21 to perform, and it sucked because it was on St. Patty's Day on 36th, and so then I got that, and I've been promised off this one song, kind of like what I did with this. Some guy at Washington State University found it, really liked it, showed just like 4 of his friends, and then it blew up around their campus. And so one of the frats up there is like, whenever COVID's done, we're booking you, we're flying you out, like you're getting taken care of. And
wow, most definitely.
I got that, and then I got the best DJ setup coming in probably beginning of 2021, and so you can just expect a lot of new music, a lot of new merch, a lot of more action. I know I've been kind of slacking on my social media, but we got a lot of stuff coming, and it's really exciting. Like, I'm really pumped. I have never been pumped for anything more in my life, honestly. But
yeah, most definitely, man. And like I said, you definitely working, man. Just keep up the good work. Just keep pushing, man. It's definitely gonna work out, man. But I appreciate you having me, man. Hey,
of course, anytime.
Tell everybody your social medias, man, so they can follow you and all of that.
All right, my social media is at Dillcor Official, so DILLCOR Official. You'll find it. It's got a kind of sticker like this one, like kind of looks like that for its profile pic, and I got some stuff there, and I got some other social media stuff I'm not as active on. I'm mostly on Instagram, and then I'm gonna get some stuff going on my YouTube page. That's actually different from Dillcor. That's just Sean Cordill, SeanCordill, and you'll find it. That's where all my like music videos and performance videos are posted. So thanks for having me. Honestly, this is great.
Thank you, man, once again, man.
Of course.
Appreciate it.